Traders, investors, friends, family, come one, come all. It is Daniel, your market engineer, and we are back in another one. Let's jump right in. In this video, we're going to be going over a couple points. I wanted to touch on the price action we saw over the last week. We're going to touch on something that no one else is really talking about, and by no one else, I mean no one in the YouTube community as far as I've found, and certainly no one in the mainstream media. And the third point is how, in light of current events, they have found themselves even better positioned to be a powerhouse in this sector than ever before. So let's jump in. We saw a lot of weird stuff in the market, a kind of continuance in last week when the S&P started to fall. We see that here. This is the S&P, and I have my crosshair synced up so you can kind of see how everything correlates. So we're at our all-time high here, and we start this pullback. This is also what I pointed out in the other video before this, kind of how some of these candles sync up with the volatility index over here. But the volatility index is derived from the volatility of the market as a whole. You have to understand. So when we see crazy volatility in major indexes like, the S&P 500, of course, we're going to see that reflected over here. A lot of the volatility that we saw in the market with stuff like just the S&P pulling back from all-time highs, and we had the Jay Powell meeting. Let's see, where is that? Like, it was Wednesday or Thursday. It was like a 2-day thing that happened. But you could see my guy moves markets, man. It's not always going to be to the downside, but you can be sure that if he talks, hedge your positions, buckle up, something is probably going to happen, especially in the market we've been living in lately. So you see right here, Wednesday wasn't good. Opened a little bit choppy for us. Same thing with the the S&P. See the volatility ramping up. What was interesting is we saw, as we got later into the week, we had this rally, and the S&P 500 just absolutely pulled back hard right here. We broke the 3,300 level, and if you look, we've been teasing this number. We touched it a couple of times, but we didn't really break through it. And we broke through it, man. So higher highs, well, now we're starting to see lower lows. But it seems to be mooning a little bit. We'll see. I don't think we're not going to have another market crash. It's not going to happen, all right? We're just seeing a pullback, a correction. It's okay. So a lot of that price action that we saw in the market as a greater whole was reflected back into Shell. Not to be worried, fairly normal. I'm expecting, regardless of these kinds of things, as we get closer to the merger date, as we get these different catalysts we're looking for, it does not matter what's going on in the market, man. You see some of these other companies, some of these other tickers, look down your watch list. And some days when the market is absolutely upside down, there's some stuff that doesn't care, man. And you'd be surprised. You're like, wait, why is this, this should be affected by it. But it's not. Right? It doesn't always have to make sense. And the rocket fuel that is ahead for this thing, I don't think people understand. And that brings me to my second point, which is this guy right here, Jim Cramer. He is about as mainstream media as it gets when it comes to the stock market. I mean, he works for CNBC after all. Okay, this guy's a very broad audience. He speaks to the mom and pop investors, your average Joe kind of people. Okay, he's not going to move markets like Jay Powell does, but you have to understand that lots of people look to this guy for guidance, and when he says something, things can move, okay? The fact is, he's not saying anything, which is odd because he has video after video after video. He's mentioned and talked about nkla, Nikola, for weeks and months, okay? This came through the newswire the other day from Benzinga. Cramer has not been in favor of Tortoise Acquisition Corp, Class A, NYSE, blah, 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 because he does not have a feel for it and he does not know what it owns.
Y me acuesto en su, allá para abrir el restaurante que era el arroz, en las chanclas. Todo despeinado porque no me dio tiempo nada ponerme las chanclas y el bañador. Voy a la playa, había subido la marea.
kidding me? Wow. Hello, red flag, guys. He doesn't know what these people do. Someone that has been covering a huge competitor. And frankly, they're not even a competitor anymore, because that's what we're going to get to in point 3. These guys are completely upside down right now. I would be very surprised if they make it out of this current line of questioning, I guess you could say, that they're in, alive. And even more mainstream than that, we can go to Twitter. 7,000 followers. 82,000. So they have like 12 times the following, okay? This is going to happen. The hype is going to build. People are going to find out. No one knows about this yet. They are not listed. They do not have that news channel, that funnel that we talked about in the last video, okay? Buckle up. This shit is going to get crazy, man. And moving on to our final point. Why are they in such a unique position? Well, there was only a couple of them. I'll throw a graphic up on the screen now. They came up with this a while ago. I think these numbers are a little bit wrong. I vaguely recall that the Tesla vehicle was 250K. The numbers seem a little bit off there, but anyways, I digress. The real point is we have a couple options, all right? We have diesel, Tesla, Nikola, or Shll Hyliion. Diesel is obviously going by the wayside. Tesla is obviously going to be expensive, and Nikola, well, let's touch on that if you're not familiar. Just type in Nikola on YouTube, alright? It is literally video after video, just absolute debauchery. I can't even believe some of the responses that they've had against the claims that have been made. If you're not familiar of these things, this is not the video for that. The point of this is that I hope you already understand this dumpster fire for what it is, so you can truly appreciate how much more attractive this has made Shll Hyliion. Wow. We are on track for some amazingness. We got the activate windows right here that we're going to handle soon, but more importantly, we got the MACD reversal. Look at that beautifully. This is probably too big of a scale. Let's dial it back. Let's put it on like a something more reasonable here. Do a 90-dayer. So as we've gone over in this video, we're good, man. We are on track. Had some craziness, but the catalyst is building. The hype is building. People will know, and we will go to the moon. I'm Daniel. I've been your market engineer. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the thing. Do the stuff. Links will be in the down there. Follow me in the various socials. I post daily on there as well. If you want intraday ticker updates on some of my positions and what's going on, tune in there. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for and manage your portfolios, do your due diligence, be safe, have fun, and let's get rich.